Buddy. Good. Yesterday was a really tough day for our kids. Coach Ash had great relationships with these young guys, and I know a lot of them loved them, so it was a big change for them. But they're handling it the right way, and I know they have a ton of respect for him. And I just want to start by thanking Coach Ash for giving me the opportunity to coach here and to coach with him. I think he's a phenomenal football coach. I know he's got an absolutely great future ahead of him, and he's probably the hardest working guy I've ever met in my life. His commitment to Rutgers football was absolutely exceptional. It was an honor to work with John McNulty. He's a phenomenal football coach, and I got an opportunity to learn a great deal from him. I had the opportunity to watch him coach many years ago when he was coaching Mike Teal, and to get to work with him the last 2 years has been great. I want to thank Pat Hobbs for the opportunity and his trust in giving me this opportunity to help guide our program through these next few months. The biggest thing is, making sure that we take care of our players, that we give them a chance to be successful, that we keep them together. Obviously, it's a tough time for them, and, our leaders are doing a great job of keeping everybody on task. And, I guess for me, probably one of the biggest things is a tremendous honor as a guy that's from New Jersey and loves New Jersey to have the opportunity to represent Rutgers and represent New Jersey is it's really special for me, and it's an unbelievable opportunity to represent our players. So I'm really excited about it, and hopefully, if you guys have any questions,
What's the last 24 hours or so been like for you? I mean, when did you kind of find out this was going to happen, and what have you done since then?
It's been pretty crazy. I mean, I guess almost a little less than 24 hours ago, I found out, and I guess you just kind of have to hit the ground running. We kind of made plans pretty much on the fly. The coaching staff's been awesome. I mean, obviously it's a very tough day for all of those guys, but they're real true pros, and they've been incredibly helpful, in every way. So really that's been the big thing, is communicating with the players, trying to keep them on task, and then making sure that we're communicating with the staff and, see what things that, we're going to keep the same, and what, minor changes we're going to make that we think will, help the team.
You're going to be the offensive coordinator?
Yes.
What types of changes will the offense go in your mind?
Well, I don't think you can make, major overhauls. I mean, we have, basically 5 days to get ready for a game. So, it's kind of a lot of it just streamlining what we do, making sure that the players understand what we do, maybe some minor tweaks in the way that, that I see things, and, communication with, our entire offensive staff. We got a bunch of guys that are really close in there. They work really well together. So I don't think there'll be any major changes. I just think that we'll do the things that we think give our kids the best chance to win and give our players a chance to be successful.
A lot of times at any level, any sport, when changes like this are made, it can go one of two ways. Sometimes it sparks guys, sometimes it doesn't. What have you seen from the players in terms of, their reaction to this and how they're at least trying to deal with it, and will this fire them up? How have you seen their attitude?
Well, I'm sure it's a mixed bag, because, it's a very emotional experience for them. As I told the kids yesterday, everybody in the room, including me, is here because of Chris. So, obviously we all have relationships with him. So that's a big part of it. And, what the thing we said is, we have 8 games to go, and we have a lot of great opportunities in front of us. So it's really been a big part of it, has been just getting them to understand that and stay focused. And, we have great leadership. We have really some guys that have been here that have a lot of time and work invested. And they've done a great job. Our leadership council and our captains have done a great job of communicating with the young guys and just telling them, hey, let's stay the course, and let's, go figure it out over the next, 2+ months. And then, we'll go from there.
Hey, Nunzio, a lot of even experienced coaches struggle with doing both jobs, as running the program and managing an offensive coordinator. I'm just curious how you plan to manage your time, and if that's a big ask for what's going on inside the program now.
Well, I know it's not the same level, but I did it for 8 years. But I also think that we have a great offensive staff. We have a lot of like-minded people that see things the same way. So, while I'm here talking to you, those guys are working really hard at putting things together. Pete Rossimondo, head coach for a long time. He's a great offensive mind. Lester Erb really does a great job with our receivers, but he's been a running back coach. He has tremendous experience. Colby Smith has tremendous experience. Drew Lascari ran the same offense I ran, when at Don Bosco, so he understands the way I think and, a lot of the things that we're going to do. So, I think there's a lot of continuity, and we're going to count on those guys to really help do a lot of the work.
Coach, can you just talk about how you're handling the recruiting aspect of it now, and will there be more responsibilities divvied up among the staff? How does that plan to work?
Well, obviously the guys that we have committed, we're certainly going to honor that. We're going to do everything we can to keep them. I don't think it's my responsibility to be out there offering guys scholarships. I'm the interim coach, so I think it's my job to make sure that we keep those guys interested and that we show them, what we have to offer about Rutgers, and obviously keep encouraging guys to stay interested and involved with what we're doing. But we're going to kind of pretty much stay status quo, kind of hold down the fort until some other decisions are made.
Do you hope to be a candidate for a permanent job?
I would tell you that I've worked my entire life to prepare myself for this opportunity, and to me this is like the holy grail. So of course, but I understand that that there's a lot more that goes into that. It's way over my head, and I'm just going to go do my job the best I can.
Because you're coach's son, coaching family. I'm sure it was not the perfect ideal circumstance that you'd want to run a college football program, but how ready are you for this? You've been doing this for your whole life. Just talk to me a little bit about just how ready you are and prepared you are to be a college football coach.
Well, I guess we'll find out in the next 8 weeks. But, the truth is, I think that football is football, and I have literally spent my entire life on a football field. I've been on a football team since I'm 5 years old, so, my dad was a coach. All my brothers are coaches. Basically every positive male influence in my life was a coach in some way, shape, or form. So, I think that I'm, prepared to help these guys going forward. But, the biggest thing is, just keeping them focused on the task at hand. I'm not really worried about the future. I'm just worried about, getting ready for practice tomorrow.
Is Art your quarterback? And you're obviously very familiar with Johnny. Is he going to feature in more to the offense?
Well, yeah. I've already told him. Art's going to start the game, and we'll see. Some of the stuff that Johnny does well. Obviously, I have a tremendous amount of familiarity with him, and I've told the quarterbacks already. If there's a role that he could play that helps us win games, then we're absolutely going to do that too. But I think Art's played really well the last couple of weeks. I think he's shown great improvement. He's worked really hard, and I think the biggest thing is those two guys are great friends. They're both really good leaders, and they're going to work really hard to help each other.
Just to follow up with Art, you don't anticipate him redshirting at this point because he's going to play the fourth game this weekend.
I do not anticipate that, no.
I just want to make sure you're calling the plays, right? You hadn't come out and said that, so I just want
Yes.
to. Okay.
Yeah.
Any other staff changes? I know you have John and Drew, but are you adding anyone to the staff?
Not really. No one from the outside. I guess we could shuffle some things around inside, but nothing.
Who's going to handle the tight end responsibilities now? And will McLean Carter, do you have an update on his status?
John Weiss will handle the tight ends, and I actually don't have an update on McLean. He's not ready to play this week. I know that.
You said that players are handling it well. You played 4 games, coaching change. Do you anticipate any transfer portal issues, guys entering? I know it's early in this process.
Yeah, not at this point, but that's kind of the way college football's going. I guess anything's possible. We'll deal with it on a player-by-player basis. But, right now, the guys have done a really good job of staying the course. And, we're right in the middle of the season, so it's not like anyone's where you're really going now. So I think that they have a pretty good sense of that.
Obviously, this is an odd position to be in so early in the season. I'm just curious, this is a home game. You've got several home games left. And what would you say to the paying customers, the fans who are going to be coming out, who are looking inside saying what's going on in there? What would you say to them who come into the stadium?
Well, I would say, we got a great group of kids that are working really hard. They're going to play really hard on Saturday. And, we'd love to see the whole state of New Jersey come out and, support these guys because they need it. They've worked really hard, and obviously the results aren't what we wanted. But, I believe that we're moving towards something, and I think that we have an opportunity to get better and grow this week. And, I'm very confident that our kids are just going to go out and play really hard.
Did you get a chance to look at any Maryland film yet? And any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I have. I obviously I think that they have dynamic offense. I mean, Coach Loxley's a great coach, and they do a great job. And I know they had a tough game the other night, but we could relate to that a little bit. And I think it's got an opportunity to be a great game. But I think right now our biggest focus has to be on us. We can't worry a whole lot about them. We got to streamline some things and get ourselves squared away. And by the time we get to practice tomorrow, we'll have a better sense of what we're looking at for Maryland.
Specifically on the offense, I know you said minor changes, and you're 4 games into it, there's 8 games left. But I know you're a spread guy, generally speaking. Is there any way that we're going to see more spread concepts? Can you change it overnight?
Basically, my thought process had always been that we are a multiple eye team that adds the elements that come with the spread offense, whether that's the RPO stuff or it's the, quarterback reads or whatever. Really, the biggest thing is what can our kids handle and what can we get to? I think that we have all the things built in to do what I'd like to do, but, it's really going to come down to what can our players execute, because we have to put them in a position to be successful. And, that's the most important thing, because they have to feel confident in what we're doing.
When you mentioned about Maryland, you said, our biggest focus right now has to be on ourselves. Are you referring more to the game plan and the, improvement week after week, not the side stuff about, coaching change and all that kind of stuff? You're talking about game stuff, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about, hey, what we're going to do to go out and try and win a game on Saturday. We have to, make sure that our house is in order and that we understand what we're doing, that, I think, Andy's got some plans for the defense that he thinks, okay, these might be some minor things that we can do to help our players. We're going to do the same thing on offense and the same thing on special teams. So once we have a good sense of that, then we'll really worry about the other team. Anything else, guys? Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it, guys.